Welcome to Stata video 3. In this video, we will learn how to work with the data menu of Stata. In particular, we will learn how to generate a new variable from an existing one. Then we will learn how to add a variable label to a variable. After that, we will see how to rename an existing variable and how to clone it as well, and finally how to add a note to a variable. All right, so I have everything set up. As I have told you in video 2, we work with this folder econometrics in the F drive, and I have my data set here, which is auto DTA, and I am first going to open that data set. But before that, I have to change my working directory. So again, go to file menu, change working directory, and from there go to USB drive F, select econometrics folder, and OK. So that has been done. The next thing is I have to start a command log file. So cmd log using analysis02.txt. At the same time, I also want a log file as well. So log using analysis02log.txt. So now let's open the data set. I can either go through the menu system, which is menu, then open, and then click on this data set, or I can type it here, use auto.dta clear. Now this clear option is important because if there was any earlier data set already here on the, or rather in the memory of Stata, this clear option will delete that data and load this new data. So press enter and I get my new data set. So what are we supposed to do? First, we are going to generate a new variable from an existing one. All right. So let's say I am going to create a variable from this existing variable turn, and I will create it as a square of this variable. So let's see how to do it using the menus. So it will be in the data menu. Under the data menu, I go to create or change data, and from there create a new variable. Click on that and the generate dialog box comes up. Now if you paid attention when I showed you this Word file, what we are supposed to do, you'd see that there are certain words which I have underlined. That is simply because these are actually the exact commands for accomplishing each of these tasks. But anyway, first let's learn how to do them using the menus. So this is the generate or create a new variable dialog box, and the new variable name will be I want to use turn2, and I can either click on this create and use this expression builder to create the mathematical expression based on the existing turn variable here, or I can simply type it here as turn to the power 2. Now this symbol that I typed here between turn and 2, you can type it by pressing shift and typing the button 6, and you will get this to the power sign. So this is the new variable turn2, which will be created as square of the existing variable turn. So now let's press OK, and let's see what is the command. The command is generate the name of the new variable equal to the mathematical expression which I used to calculate this variable. Now if we check the command review window, we see that it is in black. That means our command was correct and this variable should have been created correctly. So now coming to the variables window, we see that the new variable turn2 has been created. However, under the label field there is nothing, there it is empty. So the next thing that we want to do is add a variable label to this variable. Now variable labels are simply a bit expanded form of the name, because most of the time we want the name to be short so that we can easily type it in our commands, but sometimes such short names becomes really difficult to understand. Therefore we need to expand it a little bit. So let's go back to data window, data menu again. From there we go to the data utilities. Within the data utilities we have the label utilities, and from there we select the label variable, because we are labeling the variable, not the data set. So click on label variable and this label variable dialog box comes up, and here already it says attach a label to a variable. So let's keep it like that, and the variable to which we want to attach this new variable label is turn2. So bring that up here in the variable field and let's type the new variable label here, and this is square of turn, and the unit is definitely square feet, because the original turn variable had an unit of feet. So this is square feet, or you can simply type square feet dot. And so this is the variable label for this variable. Let's press OK and see that this new variable label has come up in the label field, and the command is label variable, name of the variable, and then whatever the label we typed within double quotation mark. Remember, this double quotation mark is very important. Next we will see how to rename and clone a variable. Alright, now we will see how to clone and rename a variable. Now in this context, let's also see how to add a comment. So let's type a comment here. We will add this comment to our do file, or rather command log file. So the comment is we will now clone a variable. So type the comment, press enter. Always remember to start the comment with an asterisk, and this will be added as a comment to our command log file, which we will see later. Now the point is, we should never change the existing data set. If there is a variable price and we want to rename it, we should actually keep the original variable as it is, create an exact copy of that variable and rename that variable. So this creation of that exact copy of this variable is known as cloning the variable. So how to do it? Let's go to data menu again, and from there create or change data. From there we now need to go to the third option, which is other variable creation commands, and at the extreme end here we see clone existing variable. So click on this one, and the new variable's name is, let's say we want to rename it to price version 2, and the existing variable is simply price. So we will create this new renamed variable price version 2 as an exact copy of the original price variable, except that the name is now version 2. Let's press OK, and as you see, that new variable has appeared here. The command is clone var, name of the new variable is equal to price, that is, it is an exact copy of the price variable, and that is how we copy and also rename a variable. So remember again, never change the original variable, keep it as it is clone it and rename it if you have to rename it. Now let's add some notes. We will now add notes to the variables we just created. So this is our next comment, and this will make the command log file nicely divided up. So let's first add a note to this turn2 variable. To go to actually the variables manager. Now within the variables manager, we see that all the variables that we have in the data set are listed here, and we want to add a new note to this turn2 variable. So click on this or select this turn2 variable, and on this right hand side we see that it says there is no note attached to this variable. So we want to add a note. So click on manage. This new dialog box comes up and there are no notes here. So add a new note, and let's say this is turn2 is square of turn, and I also like to add the name of the do file or name of the command log file in which I did this particular analysis or created this variable. So the name of the command log file is analysis02.txt. So I added the name of that. So now in this note, I not only know how this variable was created and from which variable, but also I know in which command log file this was done. So let's press submit, and as you can see here now, it says that one note. Very good. Let's close it, and I want to just show you before moving forward that this is the command which added this note. So notes, then the name of the variable, colon, and then the entire note. So let's add another note to this price version 2, and again this also does not have any notes. So manage, and I want to add a note. So price version 2 is renamed copy of price, and also the name of the command log file analysis02.txt. Submit. This has come here. There is only one note, and this is that note. Close, and it also says that price version 2 has a note here. Very good. So close this variables manager, and this command is now the command which attached this new note to the price version 2 variable. So our analysis for the time being is done. So let's press couple of enters and close the log file. So log close the command log file, cmd log close, and then let's go back to our working directory, and I see that there is this command log file and also the log file. So let's open the command log file to check it. Now as you can see, the first line was the name of the log file and creation of that, then which data set it used, then what we did, we generated a new variable, labeled that variable, and we also said we will now clone a variable. Let's put some spaces here and clone var, so that command is here. Let's now enter a space here, and so var manage brought that variable manager, and these notes commands were added. Now the point is, although through the menu system we needed this var manage command, we actually do not need it anymore. So we can just press an asterisk in front of it, and it will be treated as a comment later on, because this notes command is enough to add this comment to this variable. So this var manage command is not necessary. and then log close. And now if you save this file, every time anybody sees this, they know exactly what you did and they can replicate your entire analysis. This is the purpose of a command log file. And now before I end this video, I want to tell you a couple of things. The first is, anytime you want to see what are the nodes attached to either the variables or the data set, you can do that simply by typing the command node, and that will show you what are the nodes attached to each of the variables, and also what is the node or what are the nodes attached to the data set. So underscore DTA shows the nodes attached to the data set, and each variable's name shows the node attached to node or nodes attached to that variable. You can also just find out what is the node or what are the nodes attached to any particular variable by typing the name of the variable after the node command, and that will show you only those nodes or node that are or is attached to this particular variable. And secondly, unless and until you save this data set, neither these newly created variables nor the nodes that you attached will be saved in the data set. So I should actually have entered a command here before before this log close command, where I saved this data set. So I should have actually gone to file and done a save as command, because don't do a save command, that will overwrite your existing data set. I should go as save as, and this was my original data set. So let's say my new data set is auto version 2 dot dta. So save, and I have created a new data set. If I go back to the folder, you will see now I have a new data set which is auto version 2, and this data set now has the these two new variables, their labels, and also the nodes that I attached. But the original data set will not have those. So I should have, especially if I need this new data set for my future or further analysis, I should have saved it as a new data set with a new name before I close this log file. So those are the two very important things that I wanted to point out. Thank you.